You mentioned that a lot of the players that you grew up with never competed. They were playing at their houses, they were playing in the parks, but they didn't go to compete. When
They
did you
played.
start competing?
They
Yeah.
played, but they didn't play as much. The
Right.
most important thing for them was beating up on each other. Like,
Was it because of travel costs and things of that nature? Or?
I mean, we're going back to chess in the 80s.
Yeah.
Guys had
Not a
jobs,
lot of tournaments.
not a lot of tournaments
Yeah.
would come around, and
And
the
chess
bi-
wasn't a career back then. I mean, you couldn't make money unless you were like top 10 probably, right?
No, absolutely not. Chess careers and grandmasters were like mythical creatures on Mount Olympus somewhere, and you would see one. It's like, that guy. I remember when we first saw Yasser Seirawan, and Yasser would be suited up. And, he was a playboy back in the day,
Yeah.
and he had on gator shoes and styling. It's like, yo, that's Yasser Seirawan, man. Wow, right? And grandmasters wouldn't even talk to you. Right? Joel Benjamin and those guys, Maxim DeLugie and Michael Rode, all these New York guys, they went like, come on, man, get away. And on top of it, they thought we were hustlers. Like, just to be blunt, like, we came to a chess club, they saw us, they were like, these are the hustlers. And it was racial, it was straight up, but sit down and play. Like, I'll show you a hustler. Like, let's go. So, no, career, I was not thinking about it as a young person. The only thing I was thinking about was playing chess.
Just getting
getting
better.
better.
Yeah.
And that's all I cared about. And plus, I had to beat Ronnie and William because, they were trash talking me and kicking my ass. I was unacceptable.
Yeah.
So that was it. It's like, get better, get better, get better. And thankfully, they were 22, the top guys were 22, 2300 level, but they didn't play in tournaments as much. It wasn't until I actually played in tournaments, got past them, that they couldn't accept that I was the best player in the school now. And they started going in tournaments. And as soon as they did that, they all raised their rating to 2300. Well, the top ones. Became 2200, became masters, 2300s. Like, that was always their strength. But they just didn't play.
Do you remember your first tournament victory?
No, I only remember my first loss.
Yeah.
It was to Paul Song. Paul Song was my first loss. You remember your losses more than your wins. I don't remember my wins, but my losses stung and motivated me. And that was big for me. I was a person who could not tolerate losing. And every loss was like, okay, I got to go home and study for 5 hours. That's it. And so that's how it was.
And speaking of your family as well, what's the age difference between you and your sisters?
My sister is a year and a half younger than me, and my brother is 7, 8 years older.
Was she
7.5 years
competing
older.
at that point? She's a boxer, right?
No, my sister was a dancer.
She was a dancer.
She was a dancer.
Right.
She was followed by my dad, our dad, who was a dancer. He was a serious dancer. He danced for dance school, Martha Graham. He had his own school. And so she was following behind him. So she thought she would be a dancer, but then she broke her knee. And after she broke her knee, she couldn't dance anymore. And so she turned to my brother, who was always into martial arts. And he was by then getting into kickboxing. And she said, I don't know what to do now. And he said, all right, we can go. Let's segue from dancing to kicking people in the face.
That's kind of crazy. Like, you break your leg and you can't dance, but you can.
But you can still
do kickbox.
That's right, because you don't have to go up on your knee like you would in dancing. So she was flexible, right? And that made her. If you're a dancer, you can do everything. Like, athletically, dance is the perfect training. And so she was just picking her feet up and kicking any which way she wanted. She turned a black belt just like that, and she went into kickboxing. But then when she was competing in kickboxing, she didn't know what to do with her hands. And so she would fight women, and they would come inside her legs, and she didn't know what to do with her hands. So she had to start training for boxing. And then as she did that, she fell in love with it. And that's why she went into boxing. And it was such a strange thing that she did that. She never won a kickboxing title, but she became 3-time amateur Golden Glove champion, fought in Madison Square Garden, and then a 6-time world champion boxer, and got in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the oldest boxer, male or female, in history.
That's
Were you
amazing.
guys pushing each other's careers, let's say?
Not
Look,
direct.
I've done this. Hey, what about you? What have you done in the past year?
Apparently, my sister, she's like the most competitive of all of
Yeah.
us, because she takes it personally. She really hated watching us excel at anything if she couldn't be good at it. But my brother was very supportive. He was the big brother, so he treated us like his younger siblings. He's much older, significantly older. But my sister was the one who did that more. Me, I was just trying to do my thing.
That's amazing that she took her weakness in kickboxing and made it into her biggest strength. That's
That's a beautiful lesson for life. It's a very beautiful lesson, and she absolutely did that.
But your family doesn't play chess besides you, right?
No, my dad plays a little bit, and in fact, he started playing much later in life. I have another brother, half brother, who plays a little bit, but none of them ever played in tournaments or anything like that. They would be 1,200. Let me not say that because my dad would be like, "What?" Maybe like 1,400, 1,500 online. But no, they know how to play.